You look fine. I mean, there's not a lot to work with anyway, so come on.
Boom.
Yes. Way to start the day.
All
All
right.
right. You sure? I mean,
It's just getting better, Bernie.
I want to make sure that you're feeling good, you're comfortable, you got your physio all set up, you got your trainer all set up. I mean, you know, the days of junior tennis, I just watched this funny little thing, this interview with McEnroe,
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
with Boris Becker, and I think it was
Vilander.
Vilander was over there. And Mac's talking about these 12-year-olds at his academy that have got their own physio.
Right.
And so it's like they're never going to learn how to play the game.
No.
Right? They're I mean, you know, the way Mac described it, he was #1 junior in the world in 77. They sent him over to Europe with $500 and have a great time and good luck.
Go get him.
And here he's you know, what is he, 17 or 18? And he goes over there and he's trying to figure out, well, okay, would you like to hit some balls with me? You know, he's got no one taking care of him. So, and he made a good point that, he made a really good point that's, I think, the difference between a lot of these kids in Europe or other parts, China, who just all they want to do is get out of there, man. And their ticket out to go on the world tour is to all Shawshank all day.
It's a tennis racket. That's their ticket.
That's it. And I think, you know, I mean, I hate to pick on the U.S. kids because, you know, some of them I'm sure are just working their little tails off. But, I mean, there was a junior tournament here. I remember I don't know, a few months ago here at Mission Hills. And I'm just walking around. I'm just curious to see, number one, what style of play is. And, of course, the style of play is these are just little, you know, cookie-cutter guys with the same groundies. Everyone's got the same groundies. And the parents are all over there trying to do this stupid signaling thing to their kid, which is, what are you signaling? Your kid can only do one thing anyway. What else could they possibly do? And then when the kid's match is over, you know, the kid walks off with the bag and you know, one of the parents takes the bag. And I'm just thinking, what has happened? So anyway, we haven't even done the intro for this episode yet. We're already ranting. So guys, thanks for hanging in here with the initial rant before the intro. All right, so look, we just had a little glitch here with the technology. I guess this internet thing is not quite an exact science yet. Would that be a safe statement to make?
Very safe, you know. I mean, you brush a button, you kind of even think about pressing a button, and something just blows up on you. You know, I don't know. So,
well, look, anyway. we were just ranting on junior tennis a little bit before we got into the intro. I'm not sure how deep we got into the intro. I'll have to go back and edit it, but I'm assuming that I have to redo the intro. So here we go. I am Brent Abel, that guy over there who, please, let's all hope he's not thinking about pressing a button or something like that.
Keep my hands. My hands are here the whole time. I'm not going to touch anything.
Jeff Jacklich up in Napa, California. Jeffrey, how are you this morning?
Gosh, fantastic now.
Okay. So, guys, look, if you've been with us any amount of time, you know that we're trying to help competitive tennis players, not those guys who want to look just like Fed or want to look just like Rafa, who actually want to win some matches. And so that's what we're doing here with gold ball hunting. And, guys, before we get started today, we got a really kind of a fun topic today. But we are offering, at this time of the recording, we're offering a free 10-minute coaching call to you. If you want to jump on a call with us, it is complimentary. It's only 10 minutes, so you got to bring that one thing in your game right now that you just cannot figure out, right? And that if you could figure it out, boy, there might be a little bump in the day-to-day skill level. So The way to get to our online calendar so you can cherry pick a time and a day and time that's good for you, go to goldballhunting.com and get signed up for our email list. We promise not to spam you with any kind of garbage, only the good stuff. And if you're already on our email list, at the bottom of every email, there's a link that will take you to our online calendar. So with that said, Jeffrey, I've got a little topic I want to talk to you about today. And it is that, what I like to call the kiss of death, where you're playing a guy who's your level, maybe even a hair above you. Right, a hair above you might mean that he wins 65% of the time. You play 10 matches, he's going to win 6, 7 times, and you're going to eke out that victory where maybe the guy's not feeling so great on that day. I don't know. Or maybe you play great. But here's match number 11, and you go out there, and dang it, if you don't win the first set 6-0, it's a zipper, it's a zapper, it's 6-0. And have you ever done that before, Jeff, against a guy who's good, your level? You win the first set, maybe 6-0, 6-1, and you go, I got this game figured out.
I got to tell you, Brenny, I've been really fortunate that this never happened to me.
Wait a minute. We're supposed to be telling the truth.
Oh, okay. This is Monday truth, right?
No,
Monday is truth day.
This is the confessional with the grill right next to you, and
that's it right there.
And the Padre on the other side that you can't see.
Yeah. So, how many times, right? I mean, I think this is really part of that journey. It happens once you've kind of gotten over the hump a little bit and you're starting to, make quarters and semis and finals maybe, but also I think, to add to your list, like who does this happen to? It also happens when you kind of feel like you're starting to tease. You're in the hunt of beating some better players now. And this is could be one of your first matches where you come out of the gates and you're just shooting darts, and you're kind of almost unconscious, and you're just blowing doors on the guy.
Well, hey, and what about you're playing a guy who is better? I mean, who's definitely better.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And you really got that. You got that mindset. I got nothing to lose, so let's just let her go. Let's just let it rip.
And it may not even be that you actually have consciously that mindset. I know for me, one particular match, I didn't have that I got nothing to lose mindset. I just happened to walk on the court. I was very calm, and I just mowed him down the first set, 6-0, 6-1, something like that. And it was a complete surprise to me. So no one was more shocked than me. Friends who were watching, yes, they were shocked. The guy who was playing, yes, he was shocked. But he also had, he was a great competitor, a great competitor. I mean, a pit bull, dog with a bone guy, all-court player.
Oh, let me guess. How about the great NorCal player, Paul Batten?
Paul Batten. Ding, 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 right? I mean, that guy could compete.
Yeah.
So,
well, he was like that little terrier that he would bite your little...
Yeah.
Your pant cuff, and you're shaking your leg around trying to get rid of this dog, and it ain't going away.
He ain't going away. So anyway, I just mow him down the first set, and he's surprised, and I'm hitting these shots, and he's just kind of shrugging his shoulders. So he's not really kind of worried. As I look back on the match, he didn't really have a worried kind of demeanor about him. It was just like, God, this guy's just playing out of his head, which I was, and he just kind of accepted that at the moment, right? And so I win the first set, and I am completely, like I said, surprised by this miracle. And then, of course, at that time I was just starting to be in the hunt of winning, beating guys who are definitely at that time better than me, and now I'm starting to creep into that group where I'm starting to earn respect from players and that kind of thing, and I started thinking about, I'm beating the great Paul Batten. And therein lies. I felt the full kiss, full frontal facial kiss of death was right there. And at that point, the match was over, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I can honestly say at that point, the moment that I entertained that thought, I couldn't escape it. I couldn't get it out of my head. And then at that point, within a game or two into the second set, a little bit of panic mode because Paul he won his first game, or held serve. I probably held serve, but it wasn't pretty, and things just the wheels started to come off very rapidly at that point. And at that point, there was no coming back from it for me at that time mentally. I couldn't recover and get out of the way of the incoming loss. That I could just see it coming, and there was just no getting out of it. Couldn't collect myself. I was so trying to win after that moment. Trying to execute, trying to win. Where the first set, I was just kind of unconscious. Call it playing in the zone, whatever you want to call it, being in the moment. Almost to the point of being unaware of what the score was. Just blowing through the first set, and then all of a sudden I'm aware. Oh, great, thanks. That was just...
Well, and I think too. It happens where you take the first set off a guy like a Paul Batten, 6-0 or 6-1, and it's like, I got this guy, I got him, and it's like there's this little moment of false, I don't know if it's false advertising that you give yourself or something, but the way the scoring system is in tennis is you can blow a guy out in the first set, and you can get up a break, and you're serving at 3-1 in the second, and the guy over there maybe for the first set really wasn't, he just missed a few balls, and maybe you got a couple of lucky let chords, and like you said, you were just playing out of your mind, and yet all he's thinking is, all right, God dang it, I gotta get serious here. And the next thing you know is he's down a set in a break, and then he breaks back, and then it's just like, there goes the train. The train's left the station, and you're not on it. And so, I mean, I've had times on both sides of it where I've been up, and I just went, and I just thought, whoops, I got him. This is awesome. And the next thing you know is, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be on that train. And yeah, for me, it's happened on kind of both sides of the coin. I mean, one time I was playing the tournament over in Mill Valley in Marin, and I'm playing one of the all-time great humans, this guy Frank Zebo. Frank's an outstanding guy, and a great player. I mean, he's one of the top guys in my age group. Anyway, playing Frank in singles, and he's up 8-zip. It's like
nothing to laugh about, but
it's like an out-of-body experience. I remember, and I was getting a little frustrated, and the roving referee walked by at some point when it's like 8-zip, and I'm trying to hold serve to at least try to get it to, get on the board. And I just told her, kind of joking, but I just said, you better have the code violations ready to go because I'm about to go crazy here. And so maybe maybe joking with her kind of helped me a little bit. But so. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I had started off, it was an 8 a.m. match in Mill Valley. I had to drive from East Bay to beat the rush hour traffic. So I think I'd probably left at like 6 in the morning, probably got up around 5, left at 6, got over there, just out of sorts, right? And it didn't really have much of a warm-up, and just didn't get going. And finally, Frank was hitting everything, and finally, I think I held serve at love 2 in the second, and I can't remember when I broke back, but then won the third, 6-1 or 6-2, something like that. So I guess the whole point of today's podcast is that you got to be super vigilant when you win that first set against, we're not talking about the guy that you beat every time, right? We're not talking about that guy. We're talking about the guy who's right at your level, if not maybe a hair above that. And there could be times when you come out, just like Jeff said, and you're just hitting on all cylinders without thinking about it. Maybe he misses a couple. You also add in a couple of lucky little let chords at just the right moment.
Right.
And you win the first set 6-0, and for me now, and I'm sure it's the same with you, Jeff. I mean, you have to be so vigilant
Totally.
that you don't think about what you just did, because the scoring system, as we mentioned, in tennis, doesn't mean that you're that far ahead. It's just one set. It doesn't matter what the score was.
No.
I mean, look at Mackie McDonald in Delray Beach, right? Last week, he beats Delpo in the quarters for the best win of his life, and Juan Martin, yeah, he's got a little bum knee, but still, Mackie beats him in the breaker in the third, the greatest win of his life, of his career so far. Comes out the next day in the semis and plays Radu Albat. And the country the kid's from is like the smallest country in the world, maybe, next to Liechtenstein or something like that. But he wins first set 6-3. And who knows what Mackie was thinking about.
Right.
Mackie's I know Mackie, Berkeley Tennis Club, great kid. And I think you and I had mentioned a few days before, we were talking about Mackie, and I said, here's a kid, no major weapon. Everything's really good, but no major weapon. He's never going to beat himself. That's his game.
Right.
And he wins that first set. And next thing you know is he gets broken because he starts to throw in a couple double faults, misses some easy shots. He loses the second and third sets, love and love.
Right.
That's hard to do. I mean, I've always said, hey, it's hard to beat my passed away great-grandmother 0-0.
Yeah.
Right? So, look, guys, we've had some technical issues with trying to get this podcast done. There will be some major editing to actually get it right. But you just got to be super vigilant, right, Jeff? When you win that first set 6-0 against the same skill level player, you're not home free at all.
No. You try to carry momentum into the second set. Stay on script. Don't do anything different. The other thing, but you have to be aware of, is that the guy might wake up. You got to be honest and know that the guy's not quite maybe in the game yet, and you're playing a good player, a guy that normally doesn't do this. And so you got to stay on top of it. You can't take your foot off the gas, really. But you got to be aware of it, kind of, so that you don't relax, and think, oh, I got this, this guy, and when you get in that mode of, oh, I got this, you're kind of not being aware that he's made maybe a bunch of errors that is not traditional for him. It's not his normal MO.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he doesn't do anything better. He just makes a few more shots in the next few games.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you start to panic because, really the points in the first set were 1, 2, 3 hits maybe max.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, you're 5, 6 shots into rallies now where you weren't in the first set, and you're starting to panic a little bit because why isn't this point over already?
Well, and the other thing is that when you win the first set 6-0 and you're sitting down after between the first and second set break, and you look over, and the guy's like so completely, all right, big deal.
Yeah.
Whereas other guys are just frothing, they're pissed and they're just ticked.
Right.
That's when you got a shot. But if the guy's over, they're just kind of going ho hum. All right. Second set.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going 3 today. I mean, the guy who says, well, I guess we're going 3 today, that's the danger guy. That's the guy that you gotta just be super vigilant that you don't.
Right. Because that's what you do now. That's what I do now. It's like, I played a first set. Okay. You lose the first set. Okay. I guess we're going the distance today.
Right.
I just got I need to solve a few things here. Right. And one of them might be, I just need to get in the game. I need to stay in the point just 2 or 3 more hits longer and see if this guy's wheels are going to come off.
Right.
And so it's not my favorite way to play, but you know what? That's today's solution maybe. So you really have to become kind of solution based when you're on the other side of the coin. But when it's in your favor though, you gotta pay attention.
Got to bear down. Got to bear down.
It ain't over.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Listen, before we get into the next technical glitch here.
Right.
I think we're done for this episode. And before we sign off, guys, just a reminder that as of this recording, Jeff and I are still offering a 10-minute complimentary coaching call. It's just the three of us. It's a private call. And you can schedule that call at your convenience. Cherry pick a day and time over at our online scheduler. If you're not on our email list, just go to goldballhunting.com. And you'll get access to that online scheduler. But you got to make sure it's a short call. It's only 10 minutes. You got to bring that number one thing in your game that you just cannot figure out. Guys, on that, we are going to sign off today. Before we do, Jeffrey, is there something we'd like the fine folks to please do right now?
I think we'd like them to like us,
God,
share us.
I thought we dropped it again.
I think so too.
Go ahead.
We'd like them to like us, share us, subscribe to us,
yes,
and leave a comment below.
Outstanding. Whew, God. Okay, good. Guys, on that, we're gonna somehow get out of here. Come on, got to get out there today and help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeffrey, we will try and do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.